The latest numbers from the Idaho County Sheriff's Office show vehicle prowls have more than doubled since 2015. And when it's dark out like it is right now, some people might think the best way to cover their belongings is by just covering up their trunk and then closing it when leaving everything inside. But law enforcement says that's actually not the case. The flames have come all the way down from the top of the rock wall right now, just 20 or so feet away from the edge of the road. The flames are very loud, they're burning very hot, and fire crews are having trouble because of all the wind. And look what was dumped in the past few hours. Look at this red pickup truck outside of Colton High School. Just a ton of snow right now. Dumped about 3 to 4 inches. Chestnut Beach is closed again for the same reason it is almost every summer. There's fecal bacteria in the water, and right now levels are more than double the healthy amount. But that's not true this year. It is here at the Nez Perce County Fair, and we're about to show you what this ride is going to look like. About 105 feet in the air right now, reaching speeds up to 60 miles per hour. Armen Araradian here at the top of the Lewiston Hill for a massive fire that's broken out. And that's how close this fire is right now to these homes. More Nez Perce County fire officials arriving right now.
We're closing the whole northbound side going north to Moscow.
Okay, not south though?
Not at this time right now.
The backcountry medics respond when and where normal emergency crews cannot. From anything like whiteout conditions like this, to steep terrain like this slope where most crews do not have the tools or equipment to provide life-saving aid. The current boat ramp I'm standing on only goes around 73 feet or so away from the edge of the water. But the new projected ramp will go all the way out here to over 230 feet away. County commissioners say that's more than enough room to handle the needs for summer recreation. There's been an uncountable number of crashes here over the past few years, and that unfortunately goes along with multiple fatalities. The Nez Perce Tribe says it's trying to figure out ways to make this intersection safer for drivers. Parts of the Palouse River near Potlatch have flooded over from this weekend's rains, and that includes this stretch behind me. But let me actually show everyone what's just a little bit further down the road. This is actually Flanagan Creek Road. Every year around the 4th of July, the Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office steps up patrols on the Snake River, making sure
Fire extinguisher.
Boaters have the required equipment and are staying safe.
You know how long the boat is?
If we can prevent crashes, if we can prevent people getting hurt, injured, dying, and that's really what we're out here for, is to try to make sure everybody's recreating safely and get to enjoy the weekend.
Is that a life jacket?
Corporal Patrick Dupay looks for proper boating registration, fire extinguishers, and life jackets on board. He says those few things can help prevent an emergency.
People might get on the water 4 or 5 times a year or less, maybe once a year, and a lot of those rules kind of go unnoticed.
And what's your name, ma'am?
Corporal Dupay says while they aren't afraid to hand out citations for improper safety measures, their goal is to instead educate on the first busy day of the year.
People see us, they know that that they can't get away with anything that they want to do, and that we're going to be checking for the equipment and things like that.
Type 4 throwable, a square cushion or a round circle cushion to toss somebody.
And even though Operation Dry Water is only a 3-day enhanced enforcement, Dupay says expect to see the sheriff's boat on the water for weeks to come.
This is how we kind of kick it off. A lot of areas around us are the same way, with the water temperatures warming up and people starting to get on the water. This is a good weekend for us to get out and have a presence.
Dad recently went into hospice care, and at that time they asked if he had a wish.
88-year-old Wallace Williams has mesothelioma, cancer that lines his lungs.
He was actually told that without treatment he probably wouldn't make it 6 months.
But 1 year later, Wallace is still here.
No, I'm fine.
His final wish came true Friday.
It was on my bucket list to fly one more time.
So friends called local pilot Gary Peters out of Hangar 180 at the Lewiston Airport. He gladly stepped up to the mission.
To honor veterans and include them and let them know how special they are.
Wallace served in the armed forces for 13 years. He quit school at 16 and joined the Air Force with his 2 twin uncles.
I made World War II vet with all the goodies by 2 days.
He helped clean up Guam after the war and was stationed in Panama, California, Washington, Alaska, and Texas. When he joined the Air Force, Wallace learned to fly in Orofino on the GI Bill.
Some people dream about being a cop. Some people dream about flying. I had no desire to be a cop.
He learned to fly in smaller planes similar to this one before it became an everyday activity.
You're just in a different world.
Wallace's final wish, to take to the skies one final time. And through a little pain, his bucket list is complete.
Just like heaven. It's a different feeling.
He and Peters flew to Orofino to see the place he learned to fly from the skies, the whole time smiling and waving to the town of 3,000 below. Taking it all in, knowing it might be the last time he would ever see the land from above.
I haven't seen him smile this much in months, literally months.
And Wallace enjoying crossing off the last item on his bucket list with some jokes along the way.
If I had 10, 15 hours in it, then I would have liked to have, done some stunts, but I didn't get up nerve enough.
We were giggling, joking the whole time there and the whole time home, and it was, I'm not sure who had more fun today, him or me.
Wallace's 5 daughters, 13 grandchildren, and 22 great-grandchildren don't know how much time he has left.
He outlived what the doctor said, and he's still going pretty strong. There's no guarantee of tomorrow.
But as they watch their dad fly off into the sunset doing what he loves, only one word.
I had absolute joy.
11 years ago, Justin Hamilton opened fire at the Latah County Courthouse, killing a police officer and 2 civilians. Whitman County Sheriff Brett Myers says situations exactly like that one are why they stay prepared.
Courthouses are hot spots. We figured what we'd do is try and bring the training right here to our courthouse.
It's to give courthouse employees a chance to see what these situations might look like. But Sheriff Myers knows active shooters are hard to predict.
Situations like this, really hard to prepare for. No one's ever prepared for this. This isn't something that you can see once or twice and think, okay, now I know what I'm doing.
This is one of the simulations they held Thursday. The scenario, family members aren't happy with the judge's verdict for the killer.
He killed my cousin. He deserves to die, just as my cousin did. He killed my cousin.
Gun!
It doesn't just involve a bad guy and some cops. It literally affects employees and almost every discipline you can think of in the emergency response field.
That's just another reason why Sheriff Myers says courthouse employees need to know how to respond.
Just educate employees on what it might look like, what their responses could be, and what our response might look like as well.
And if they come face to face with an active shooter?
Basically to hide, to run, or to engage that person.
Armen Araradian,
Don't move. Stay on the ground.
KLEW News.